Welcome to another episode of the Village Boy Podcast. It is your host, Trez. Today, while the rest of the world is jubilating about the new Catholic Pope, who happens to be an American, who has also acquired Peruvian nationality, America is talking on the right side of things about the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico. Let's get into it and dissect it, shall we? Okay, the Gulf of America. Interestingly, crazy enough, this is a Marjorie Taylor Greene's bill. She has finally done something. I never knew she was productive. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican, a radical Republican, proposed the bill to codify Trump's order renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And the bill passed. We're going to watch it here in a second. It passed with a Republican majority, 211 votes, one nay, independents. I don't know who were independents, and all Democrats, of course, 205. So 201 have it, and it has been renamed the Gulf of America. And interestingly, Representative Sarah McBride, an individual who changed their gender from male to female and changed his name to her name from whatever his name was to Sarah McBride. She was able to change their name to Sarah McBride, but is opposed to changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Isn't that an irony that it is convenient for them to change things that works for them? But if you want to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico, they are opposed to this. Let's listen to what this individual had to say in the process. And keep in mind, this is somebody who is doing exactly what Trump is proposing right now to do for the Gulf of America, because that's the new name.
We are on our way to the House floor to vote on what is possibly the dumbest bill we could be spending our time on, legislation to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. This is ridiculous. And look, you might think that we're doing this because it's another opportunity for House Republicans to be sycophantic to the man in the White House. But the other reason why we're doing this is, despite how unpopular this name change is, they would rather us be talking about nixing the Gulf of Mexico rather than talking about how House Republicans are trying to nix healthcare for millions of Americans. They would rather us talk about the Gulf of Mexico than talk about how Donald Trump's reckless and erratic tariff policy is crashing the economy. Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico in this economy? What the hell are we doing here?
Okay, the irony in all of this is not lost on me. I'm sorry. But let's have, because sometimes I think that geography is not a strong suit for Americans. But let's revisit a few things, right? Let's revisit a few things. Let's go back to the previous map. My dear Americans, this entire region, I'll try to highlight it. This entire region right here, this entire region, all the countries in this region are called North and Central American countries because Cuba, Jamaican, Cayman Island, Bahamas, all of them. So United States of America, this part right here, this is Mexico right here, and this is the U.S. at this other part right here. You could see my mouse, and this is Cuba, this is the Bahamas, the Cayman Islands, and Jamaica. Belize is another country right here, lower bottom. All of this region makes North and Central America. North and Central America, that's this region, right? Doesn't it make sense that the body of water that covers all of the regions in North and Central America be called the Gulf of America? Wouldn't that make sense to somebody? Wouldn't that make sense that calling it the Gulf of Mexico feels like the water belongs to Mexico? Look at this is the part that Mexico has for this water right here, from Monterrey to Merinda. That's the part. I don't know if Merinda is part of Belize because this is Belize right here. It looks like Belize. So why is this body of water that covers Florida, Miami, Havana, and all of this part, Louisiana, Austin, San Antonio? Why is this body of water? Even the Bahamas can lay claim to it because the Bahamas water gets mixed up with this one. The Cayman Island can probably lay claims to it. Jamaica, not as much. Why is this body of water called the Gulf of Mexico? And should I listen to somebody who has changed their name being opposed to a body of water that I think it makes sense that we change the name to the Gulf of America to reflect the actual picture? It is not the Gulf of the United States of America. It is the Gulf of America. Everybody in this region is a North American, which means they can claim to be American. A Mexican can say, I'm American because I am North American. A Cuban could say, I'm American because I am Central American. A Jamaican can say, I'm American because I am Central American. An African can say, I am African because I'm in the continent of Africa. A Madagascan can say, I'm African, even though the country of Madagascar is outside the continent of Africa, but they're African. So you could say North American, the Gulf of North America. You could say that. You could say the Gulf of America. For me, it would be inclusive of all these countries, representative of all of these countries. So Uh, Sarah McBride, you get an F from the Village Boy today because it is hypocrisy for me to hear that somebody that has not only changed from one gender to another, somebody that has not only changed their name from one name to another, is vehemently opposed to changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, reflecting all the countries and covering and using that body of water. So today, Sarah McBride gets the Village Boys F for the day. Thank you. Let's go ahead and make a video next of the new Catholic Pope, the American Pope. Continue to like this page, continue to subscribe to this page. Thank you.